During the past 2 weeks, I've been trying to think about updating my bags inside my vehicles so that they have both first aid stuff and other emergency stuff. I've been having something inside my car for a few years now, and I've always tried to do some kind of update in the springtime. This year, I decided to do it a little earlier. Ooh. And so I started at the beginning of February looking around. I looked at what people had on like uh, Reddit. I looked at what people had on YouTube, and I was surprised by a whole bunch of stuff. Let me show you a few of them to start off with. I was surprised by a whole bunch of stuff. Let me show you a few of them to start off with. To start off with. On each of them, there's a couple things that I did not see that I expected to see or hoped to see that I was surprised by. And I'm going to go through those two items, but I want to mention a few honorable mentions first that some people had, other people didn't have. Welcome, this is Haku EDC. This is Saturday's subjects, and this Saturday the subjects are what's missing from your SHTF bag or your get out of Dodge bag or get home bag or car bag. What's missing from that bag? A few honorable mentions are things that I've seen in a few of those bags. I was surprised that I didn't see very many of those bags that had something written down about. I worked for an outdoor school, well-known outdoor school. Every time we would come back or go out on a trip, we had to itemize what we took, what was inside the first aid kit, what was inside the bags that we took. We had those things itemized, and when we brought them back, we would itemize them again. I remember once I was wrong about what was left in a first aid kit, and one of my co-instructors was about ready to go out for another trip and couldn't find item in the first aid kit that I said was in there. They were upset with me. And so since that point in time, all the bags that I have that are significant that I'm going to leave at a place for more than a few days, I have a typed out itemized list. We have computers for that. We have cell phones for that. And it's come in handy because sometimes I've been on a hike, for instance, and another friend got hurt, and I could tell the other friend to go to the car, look in the back portion of the car, and to get something out. Once he got there, he thought about, well, maybe I should bring some scissors. He was glad that I had written down that there was extra scissors besides the one that was on the quote-unquote multi-tool. So scissors is one thing. The other honorable mention that I didn't see that a lot of people had that I was a little bit surprised by also was some sort of magnification piece, a magnification glass. People do get things like poison ivy, they get ticks on them. So sometimes having the ability to magnify a specific place or something is helpful. And I always have a Fresnel lens on me, and I have some inside of my packs, my bags, my pouches. That's the other thing that I think people don't typically carry that I think that they should. Those are a couple of honorable mentions. The next two are things that I'm not sure people carry them or not. I did not see them. I was surprised by one of them I wasn't half surprised by. I'm going to go into them right now and that you can see those particular two. Once again, this is Haku EDC. Why don't you have it? This is one of the things that I don't get. When I look at all the packs that people have that they put in their car, their everyday carry packs, and I do know that CPR has changed quite a bit over the past 10 years, and giving people breaths or less important than it was 10 years ago. It's still important in a lot of different situations. But because those situations are more about what may be something that the person ate, ingested, or some condition that they have, you don't want that to be on you. When someone's swimming, they're almost drowning, they come back, you need to give them a few breaths and then they're going to throw up. You don't want them to throw up on you. And so there are these one-way CPR masks that have been made. This is a typical one that people would have. I carry a couple of these with me, or one in each car, so I have a couple of these, and these work well. They're typically one-time use, but in an emergency, has year one in, you can actually use them on multiple people. I'm not recommending that, but if there was a car crash with 50 people, has you hear about with people that carry, a half dozen or more tourniquets would have, then you do what you need to do to help people survive. Alcohol pads, and here's a little video on how to use this particular item. I've only used them in test cases, but they seem to be very effective. This is a CPR mask, and they also make cloth ones, not cloth ones, but single tier ones that you can attach to a keychain, like this one here. This is called the Dixie Gear, and the Dixie Gear is one of the mid-range ones there, and you can get these for like a dozen for maybe 15 bucks on Amazon or things like these. Um, but and this is what you would keep inside your car. I have one of these. Glove compartment, put it on your keychain, your small pack, so that you're able to resuscitate someone. To show you what one of these looks like, open up and use one here. Just gonna open this up. It's basically a thin layer of plastic. And it has instructions for mouth to mouth. This is the top for single use only. And you would put this on top. This one is on the bottom. You have things for here. You put this on their ears if need be to hold it in place. And then all you need to do is breathe in here, and it's one way. I've used this also, not on any person, but I've definitely used this practicing on real people, I should say that, but they weren't in real distress. As I said, that these are usually 10 for 15 bucks or 20 bucks, and they work well. They're very small. They're keychain wise. You can put it on a keychain. You can put it in a small pack. I'm always amazed. I'm still amazed. I will look at online at possibly 100 packs, 100 automobile things, and only one or two will have these in place, but they almost all will have some sort of tourniquet. Once again, two things that I'm surprised that people don't use more or don't have in their SHTF, their get home bags, their get out of Dodge bags, their normal car auto backup bags, their tragedy bags, their SAR bags. I'm surprised that they don't have these. If I'm wrong by what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments as I stated. If there's something else that you would suggest that I'm missing that you've seen, please feel free to let me know. First, just let me say that there are plenty of people that do water bottle reviews. And this isn't a review, this is to tell you about the water bottles that I carry and when I carry them. I think that it's important for us in EDC to be hydrated. So generally speaking, One of these two Nalgene bottles are the ones that I have carried. Generally speaking, I will carry the clear one when I have water. When I have something other than water, I will carry the dark one in. One of these two are with me all the time when I leave the home. So they can go in like a pack, or they can go in my car, or I can even hold them in my hands. If needed with water in them, they could fit inside a pocket. These are the small Nalgene BAF free ones. On longer trips, when I'm out and about, I use a Nalgene water bottle like this, or I will use a Hydro Flask bottle like this one right here. These are pretty large bottles, and I have a clear one of this when I use clear water, and a dark one when I use something else. Something else is usually something like tea or some kind of juice or something like that. I know the difference. In this particular one, I tend to put something in. If it's a really hot day, then I may put something in here with ice in it. Otherwise, the heat or cold, I don't really care about. That's why the Nalgene bottles are really what I use 90+% of the time. The great thing about the Hydroplast ones are basically because you can have all different sorts of tops on them. This one has a little scruff top that you can use for drinking from. That's the great thing about the about the Hydro Flask. There's all kind of tops available for them for any kind of situation. This one here actually has a straw in it that you can suck from. I very rarely use this one, but I do have it here. And then obviously when I'm out biking, I have a bike one, and I've got, I don't know, like 20 of these sitting around in various places. I can fill them up with water, put them in my bike water bottle holder, and then I always go with this size one. There are ones that are smaller, but this is the size I go with all the time, essentially. Now, when I want to do a trip and I want to carry something special, which we won't talk about, but I use one of these two bottles, and I put my special sauce in one of these two. I like them. They're both waterproof, and they're really nice. And if you go in, you can get your little sip, and then you can close it back up. So if there's something that you want a little bit of and you want to carry it with you, these two are fantastic. That's what I do. Now, when I travel, there are two ones that I travel with. I either travel with this one right here. This is the I forget the name of this. Oh, the Mazama, and it does fold up. You can take it off. It does fold up, and then you can sip the water out of it. It is 500 liters, so it's not a lot, but it's enough water for you. You get on an airplane, you go to the water fountain, and they're really good. And then you just drink water. You can drink as much water as you want. You don't have to call for stewards or stewardesses. The same for this one is exactly the same. This one you roll up and close it off like this. Let me do that. And so now you can put it in your backpack or whatever that you need to have to carry on with, and these things work fantastic. What I didn't talk about, and what I haven't talked about, but I think is really important, when I go on a long backpacking trip that is just really, really long, I will bring a bladder with me. This is a bladder. You fill up this bladder with water, you suck it out through here. But even when I bring a bladder, I always bring one of these other water bottles with me. The bladder is fantastic. The one thing that you don't know about a bladder when it's in a pack is that you don't know how much is left in there until it's pretty much all gone. So that's why I always bring a secondary water system with it, because I can fill this up, and if I'm only going to be out for a few hours, then probably one of something like this or this is going to be enough. But let's say I'm going to be out the whole day. I'm going to carry this bladder with me, but I'm also going to have a backup water system. And so it might be something like this that I may bring along with me. So if this runs out, I don't have to worry about, do I have water left for all the other things that I need to do. This one right here is what I normally would put in my car when I'm going in the desert, or I'm going someplace where I'm not sure how much water is going to be there. This is 2.5 gallon, I think is what it is, container, 10 liters, and I can fill up with water, and I can keep it in my car, and then I can use it to like fill those up for day trips, if that's something that I want to do when I'm out hiking. I have actually carried this whole thing filled up. I was on a hike, I think, in Utah, and so I wanted to make sure that we had enough water. We were going to stay overnight at a camp spot, and I wasn't sure how the water was there. Supposedly we were next to a little smaller lake, but I wasn't sure, so I used this. What I haven't talked about is water filtering systems, and I will do that very quickly, but I'm going to do one more water thing, and then I'll talk about filters. These are the kinds and types of water bottles that I use and when I use them. And as I stated, this isn't a water bottle review. They're great YouTubers that do that. I will put some of the links to their pages in the description. When I think of my car, what I put in it is this container, and it goes with my car pack. It's called the Life Straw, and it's something that you can suck on. But the nice thing about the Life Straw is that it does come with a filter. When you're in a place where you're not sure about the water, you want to use a filter, I do keep tablets with them for purification. I occasionally have a UV light, and I don't use iodine anymore because I hate the taste of the water after that. But using this, I put this on and screw it in, and I'm ready to go to pour water in here and wait a few minutes and suck it out. Literally, a couple suck and then suck it out, and then I have good water. So this goes in my pack that's in my car all the time. Whether I have extra water or not, if I need to get water, it's here. That's it for all the water bottle possibilities. I know that there's more. Please leave a message or a comment that says what water bottle that you may use. As I stated, I'm not reviewing water bottles. I'm telling you what I have and what I use when I do EDC or packing in my car or packing for hikes. Once again, put comments in if you have other suggestions. I'm definitely open. Well, it's amazing that something as simple as a water bottle is not seen. You got to believe that people would carry that. Then something small like this is a one-way breathable mask for people who need airway issues. That it would be interesting if people started carrying more of these, or at least show them. Once again, everything that I talk about, everything that I see, it will be in the descriptions. You're more than welcome to click on them. Some of them will be places where I get a small cut of money. Doesn't cost you any more, and some of them will be places that you can go where they're at. I have a list of YouTubers that do reviews of water bottles. They do it good in case you want to know what's happening with water bottles. And then there's a few places to learn how to use these. I always tell people, go to the Red Cross or go to like local community ad place. They will teach you how to use these. Don't use equipment that you aren't sure about. There are places that teach you how to use things like tourniquets, first aid, CPR. Get certified. Your certification can help you help someone else and possibly save their life. Once again, this is Haku EDC. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you in the future.